What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for all you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now today, I get to do one of my very favorite videos, as you guys know if you've been a subscriber to the channel, and that is a movie collection update video. Now I try to do one of these about every month or so, just the big haul through the month, because you know how it is, as a physical media collector, you just can't stop. There's always new titles, and that's what we're here for, you know, Blu-ray collecting, horror movies, whatnot. So let's jump right into it. I think I have 12 titles, so I'm going to try to get through this pretty quick. And the first one I have is one I actually just did a review on 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. By the time you see this video, I'm not sure, but that is the McPherson Tape. Now, like I said in the review, this is a film I heard about watching the Bored Cyborg's channel when he gave a little tour of his update of his Blu-ray collection. And without saying too much, because I would like you guys to check out the review, this is pretty much the first found footage film ever made from 1989. It looks just like this pretty much. I mean, the one shot in particular, it's really grainy, shot off an old school like dad cam and everything. And I love that aspect. I think it makes it look more real to me, because in the day and age of cell phones, everybody has a camera on their phone. You could literally make a movie on an iPhone if you wanted to. But, you know, obviously back in the day, not even back in the day, maybe 10, 15 years ago, that was not an option. So stuff like this really holds nostalgia for me. And I think the graininess and the old look of it makes it look more real, at least to me. But if you want to hear more about this, check out my review. Now we have another one. I'm going to have a lot of shout outs in this video because a lot of these titles were suggestions. And this one is a Scream Factory Collector's Edition. John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. Now, this is, if you guys are a fan of Michigan Independent Wrestling, IWE, Mr. Benjamin Brody, Huss, the man himself, he has been suggesting me to get this one forever. And I just always put it off. It was one of those scenarios, because you guys know with like boutique labels, Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, even 88 Films, can I not think of... How can I not? Arrow Video. God damn it. I was sitting there. Took too much time trying to think of the other label. But it's one of the scenarios where like these movies can go from like 34, 35, 40 bucks even for some of these boutique horror movies. And I was kind of waiting for this one to drop down in price, which it finally did. I think I got it for a little over 20, which is a pretty good price for this. But pretty cool concept. It's about an author, Sam Neill. He's writing like horror stuff, and the story ends up becoming real, and it turns into kind of like a psychological thriller in a way. He can't decide what's real and what's not. And the trailer alone, this shit looks pretty freaky, and I was promised that this was a really good one that would deliver, so we shall see. I'm pretty confident about that one. And then this was kind of a random title, a Vinegar Syndrome title, Who Done It. From what I know about this one, it's pretty much a group of young aspiring actors all get together thinking they're going to have a movie role, and then turns into a slasher with the killer taking them out one by one. I've never heard of this one, so sometimes I like to blind buy some stuff. I mean, it looks pretty good. Let me know if you've seen that one. Now, speaking of other ones I've reviewed, first is Brain Scan with Edward Furlong from American History X, Terminator 2 fame. Now, this one's about, he's like a kid with like an injury, a disability, so he plays a lot of video games, watches a lot of horror movies. He gets this new video game that's supposed to be like the most terrifying thing you've ever played. And I won't explain more. This was surprisingly good. I didn't think it'd be as good. Not that I didn't have confidence. It's just like, I love Edward Furlong, and it's like, how did I never hear of this horror movie before? So I just assumed maybe it was a stinker, but I actually really liked it. And if you want to see more about this one, check out my review. It's spoiler-free, by the way. You can find that on my channel. And another one I was very pleasantly surprised with. It's a newer one. This was, I believe, 2014, 15, 16, somewhere in that range. Which, crazy, that's becoming almost 10 years ago at this point. But that is Final Girls. Now, Adam Devine alone sells this movie. He's absolutely hilarious. But in my opinion, when I seen this artwork for the first time, the cover, it looks kind of like a straight to Blu-ray movie. Not I don't know if it was or not, but and like I just said previously, the quality of films on that level are increasing anyways. But I was pleasantly surprised with how good this movie was. Another one I did a review on. This is a sleeper. This is right up there with Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like, if you're a fan of horror, especially satire in your horror movies, a little bit of comedy, this is one to check out. Once again, I did a review about this, spoiler free. You can check that out in my channel. Just look through my videos and you will be able to find it. Now, this one just looked kind of gnarly, and it said it's limited of 3,000 copies. This is absurd. It just looks like a really nasty, gory Italian sleaze film, which, from what I've heard, it kind of is. I hear this is kind of like a copycat movie. It's very similar to Halloween, Michael Myers, which, I mean, I would argue I like people to be more original, which is true, but shit, I ain't gonna complain about what they're calling like an Italian Halloween. So yeah, this is probably one of the pickups I know the least about. So let me know if you've seen that one. Then you really can't go wrong with John Saxton. This is one I've been wanting to get for a while. I love the artwork. Pretty much a Vietnam vet, John Saxton, comes back and he meets up with a friend from the army who's kind of like up to no good or whatever, and it eventually turns into a zombie apocalypse kind of movie. You know, one of those types. I just really hope, the reason I put this one off for so long, the same reason I don't own Cannibal Holocaust, is because of the animal cruelty and violence. Like, I could watch an actor get killed all day, but I don't really care for watching animals get killed as the dog barks upstairs. But yeah, I don't know much more about this. I finally picked it up. I'm excited to check it out. Now we have the Sleazy of the Sleaziest. I heard this is Lombardo Bava. This is about a centerfold, a girl in, you know, dirty nudie magazines, and there's a serial killer going around and killing all the girls in the centerfold. And this movie is known for being really raunchy, from at least the Pizzow review. And yeah, like I said, the killer kills all these women in a way of like their centerfold or something like that, and it's supposed to be just really, really dirty, really crazy. I guess it's known for like an Italian person's idea of what New York City is, which that'd be exciting to check out. Then we have Girl on the Third Floor. Now this has, if you guys are wrestling fans, CM Punk, Phil Brooks in this. I think it's his second movie he was ever in. It seems kind of cool, and I heard it's actually pretty good. Pretty much him and his wife buy an old house, and he's determined to fix it up himself. And when he's in there, the place is haunted, and all these ghosts and ghouls start haunting him. I'm not really into ghost movies, but CM Punk, and I actually got this a pretty good deal. It's about $12 on Amazon, which I plan on doing a review for this. I'll let you guys know how good it is, but I'm really excited to check this one out, especially for a newer horror movie. And keep in mind, when I say newer horror movie, I mean like the last 20 years, because I just watch old shit all day long. And this is another one. I'm torn on this. I don't really know what this is even about. It's from the 80s. Scalps. It's one of the original video nasties. I've heard from some people this falls flat and it's not that good, but I've heard from others this is incredibly gory. So the artwork alone, I had to check it out. I mean, this looks pretty gnarly if you look at the back. So yeah, also if you know anything about Scalps, please let me know. I believe there's some sequels as well. Now I have two more. Deathgasm. I want to say this is an Australian horror film about two outcast kids who love heavy metal music, and they end up forming a band together. They're two outcasts, and they get this music script, and they start playing the tablature and everything. And it's also, I guess it's like it summons some evil spirit, some heavy metal spirit, and then they have to fight it off. This is another one I seen Bored Cyborg talking about, so just seemed kind of fun. So yeah, pick this one up. I can't go wrong with Italian films. I meant foreign films. Try to get more and more foreign films in my collection. And then last but not least, this is one that people definitely said wasn't very good, but it is John Carpenter. I believe 1998, Vampires. You know, something about Scream Factor, just the artwork on their covers makes you want to get them. And I've looked a little bit up to this. I mean, I've looked into this a little bit, and apparently some vampires are doing their thing, sucking some blood, and a group of vigilantes have to try to stop the vampires before the lead vampire can cast like a spell that makes them able to go out in the sunlight, which would be like ultimately the main things to let these vampires override, because as you know, vampires can't go out in the daylight and shit like that. But it's John Carpenter. Part of me doesn't care how bad people want to say certain John Carpenter films are. I kind of just want to get them all, like the damn Pokemon cards, collect them all. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the haul. 12 movies. Yeah, let me know if you guys have seen any of these. As I was saying, it gets harder and harder to find new stuff, especially retro horror films on Blu-ray, for that matter. There's so many good horror flicks from the 80s, 70s, 80s, even 90s that didn't even get a DVD copy, let alone a Blu-ray. So I'm pretty satisfied with the stack for the last month, and I'm very excited to check all these out. Which you've seen, I've only watched maybe 3 of these, but I've been very busy. Pro wrestling's picked back up now that COVID was kind of slowing down with the vaccine. We'll see, but yeah, I'm very excited to check a lot of these movies out. Let me know if you have seen any of these films, and if you have any for me to check out in particular. But other than that, I hope you guys are doing good. Throw on a good horror movie tonight. Blood, Guts, Gore. I will check you next time.